Vortex here, welcome to my review of the Jabra Elite 85T. These are a fairly new release and they are currently the top of the food chain, but I've heard there will be an Elite Active model of this 85T. I got these from Amazon UK, so all the thoughts and opinions are my own and I was not paid to do this video. That's my quick disclaimer, and let's get into more information on these. So that's onto the unboxing. So Elite 85T Jabra Advanced Active Noise Cancellation, which I'll get to later on in the video. These by default came with the ANC, and the ones I reviewed before, the Elite Active 75Ts, it was added in firmware update, which is kind of cool. Mine are the grey ones, even though they look kind of black. Designed and engineered in Copenhagen. Some information there. 150 years old. Inside this box is a new way to experience calls and music and the way you hear the world around you. Designed and engineered with the latest technology, crafted from premium materials and personalised to you. These intelligent earbuds are a legacy of 150 years in the making. There is a lot of R&D behind them, but I'll get to them. Adjustable active noise cancellation HearThrough. They do have that, like the previous one, the Active 75Ts. Bigger drivers, 12mm, 6 mics, IPX4 with 2-year warranty, which is important. They do fast charge and they are QI certified. I did not test that because I don't have a wireless charger. And up to 5.5 hours, 25 with a case with ANC on. That's about right. But there's something about the information about how it reads in the app, but I'll explain later on. And you do need the app because there was a firmware update for these, so you need to use the app basically to get the functionality. And I used the Google Play one because I have a Poco F2 Pro. And yeah, let's get into what's actually inside. So this is what you get in the case, obviously all packaged properly, but you get this, which is actual, it comes in. Underneath you get the warranty information, which is that, which I'll quickly skim over in a second. In this section you get this, which is small and large tips and a USB Type-C cable. I'll show that in a second, and obviously the actual buds sit there. And about sustainable materials. That's it. This was originally sat kind of in the front. So you have to really use the app, otherwise they're not really worth kind of getting. And you need the app to actually update the firmware. 2 years. Very straightforward. You need the app. Warranty information. You can imagine what that is. You'll see those in a bit. Really quick user guide. This is quite important, and this also applies to models below, like the Elite Active I tried, the 75T. Basically it's just how to use it. So for pairing, as you can see there, how it works for charging and the actual battery life, how to connect with the app. The app looks like that. I've done a thorough look in the Elite Active 75T video, which I'll link now, and basically it's the same thing. One thing to note, see, like on the app there it says 80%, then 54% of the case. Mine reads incorrect and other people have got the same. So where that one says 54, mine stays at 100. So even if the case is nearly flat, it'll still read 100. It will still charge fine. If you plug into a charger, it will still charge like it's supposed to. But the app doesn't read that correctly, but it does read the buds battery life. So if you're down to 50%, it will show 50%. You can reset it, but it only worked once. So they need to fix that. I'll speak about that later on. How to use it for calls is there. Very straightforward. And how to use it for music. Volume, they actually have their own volume control. Press once for active noise cancelling, press again for HearThrough, and then you can press it again. You can change, you can program things differently, and that's just some more information. 6 microphones, which is a lot. You can change how the buttons work, so on and so forth, but it's all in the video which I linked a moment ago. And it works with Siri, Google Assistant, and it is adjustable. And on to get these out. So really small Type-C, does the job. Not very long, but it's enough to be plugged into many other devices. And tips, if I can get them out. Yeah, they are kind of oval shaped, but for me they worked perfectly fine. And that's it. And this is the actual case. Mine is the grey one. So the colour is on the front. Type-C, nothing on the top. Flip it around, QI charge there. Fortunately I couldn't test that because I don't have a wireless charger. Pop them open, get that out. And when you take them out, they will go blue. Or should do. To try and pair. If you paired it to a device before, it'd be automatic. And it's kind of magnets. See how they stick. And quickly, as a size comparison, this is the Elite Active 75T. My mistake. Very slightly smaller. So not much in it. And yeah, on to a microphone test. This is just a quick mic test of the Jabra Elite 85T. I am speaking at a normal volume in a quiet room, and this is just what they sound like. And yeah, this is just another quick test of the Jabra Elite 85T. Now you just heard a microphone test. Obviously it was in a quiet room, but they sound to me really good. I'm quite happy how they sound. And I have done a call in windy conditions, which I did not record unfortunately. And I did come out quite clear. Either end of the conversation worked fine. So I'm quite happy with how the microphones work. I don't know how they're long for longer durations of time, like dropouts. But for my short brief periods, they worked perfectly fine. But I'm happy they do sound good. But they should sound good because these are pricey, but I'll get onto that sound later on. So the case, like I said before, I'll take them out. So mine are the grey one, but they come in black, and there's like a two-tone one. They're quite deep, as you can see, left and right, very clear. Take one of these tips off. Nothing really blocking, into it. So they actually use the tips as more like a vent. Normally on IEMs, that kind of material, if it focuses, is actually on there, but they've actually done it on the tip, which is, if it, seems to work fine. Popped it on there. So only one button. It's a real button, which is better than the touch ones are fine, but they can misread. But a real button I like, and it's easy enough to push. It's not too soft or hard, and it works fine. So there's left, there's right. They're kind of big, but I had no issues with like comfort or anything like that. Actually, let's get on to sound. The sound of these are, as you can imagine, pretty good. You can tell there's some DSP tuning going on in the background, but it's I listen to them as on the flat EQ in the app, and they sound very balanced, is probably the best way. There's a little emphasis in the low end. There seemed to be less emphasis in the low end in these than the previous Elite Active 75Ts. They were a bit more bassy than these. These are a bit more balanced, but that's just, obviously you can adjust it to what you want. But yeah, overall sound quality with these was balanced. They never really did anything wrong. It was very easy to listen to, like everything sounded quite natural. Not perfect, because of that DSP, but they do have kind of an easy to listen to sound, so everything sounded kind of right. Vocals, male and female, was very clear, kind of very real is probably the best way to describe it. Same for anything in complex music passages. Trance was fine. A lot across a lot of genres: pop, dance, trance, techno. I tried a little bit of rock, and it worked perfectly fine. Like, nothing was really wrong. It was very easy to listen to. I don't know how these look like on a graph, but they do sound good, and they do sound a little bit better than my Elite Active 75Ts, but not much, like a hair better. But yeah, overall sound was good. The tonality was very good, which they should be for the price. Yeah, very good sound. Couldn't really fault it. Everything was kind of balanced. Isolation I thought was very good with the app, and you're using it with active noise cancelling was very good. That's why you're paying this kind of money for this model. What I prefer though is the HearThrough mode, so you can hear your surroundings. That works very well, as in really, really good. I like that. That's why these are expensive, but obviously I get into the conclusion to go a bit more about that. But active noise cancellation works good. The app in itself works good, apart from, like I said earlier, how it misreads the case battery life is kind of wrong, but I hope they can fix that. But that's how it works for me as of this stage. Yeah, imaging was fine. Obviously I can't speak about sensitivity because you don't physically connect to them, because it's got its own chipset. Battery life with ANC on is about 5.5. I think you gain around an hour and a bit with it off, and also with it on and the HearThrough mode on, there's no real sound quality difference, which is quite good. I like that. It sounds the same. So if you got music on and then you put ANC on, it doesn't really affect how the sound of the music is. So that's quite good. But yeah, overall functionality was perfect, really. I don't know what these was like without the update on the firmware, but if they can fix how it reads it, that'd be a really good thing. But yeah, I do like these. And yeah, let's go on to the conclusion. So my conclusion of the Elite Active 5Ts from Jabra: these are a very, very good product. Apart from the firmware, not the firmware, but how the software reads the battery life of the case, for the money, that should be better. These was £219 when I bought them, so these cost more than Apple AirPod Pros, and because of that, that's far too expensive. You shouldn't have to spend that kind of money on true wireless. Overall, these are like nearly as good as you can expect them to be. The microphone quality is very good. The sound quality, as expected, is very good. But I don't recommend these. They are a good product, but for £219, I can't recommend them. They're far too expensive. But you obviously are paying a premium for a premium product, because that's what they do. As an ecosystem, they do work very well, but you have to use the app. So if you use these with a digital audio player, you probably do lose a bit of that functionality. But overall, these are very good. I just don't recommend them. There should be at least £50 less. But I think because they've got that Jabra brand, they can probably command that kind of money. But in reality, they're too expensive. But yeah, that's my conclusion. A good product, but overpriced quite a bit. These should be priced at least at what the Elite Active 75Ts are, which is around £180. That should really be the absolute maximum of these, and then they should be obviously priced a bit below. But yeah, good product overall. They need to fix that the app so it reads the battery life properly of the case, and I'm not the only one to experience it. Other people have reported the same thing, so it's not just me. And yeah, good product, but needs a bit of work and needs to be cheaper. Yeah, thanks for watching and take care.